I'm 36 and I'm dating in Miami. Okay, I'm 36 and dating in Miami. I'm 36 and I'm dating in Miami, and I have a really horrible dating story. So I just went on a second date with a guy and I literally left almost in tears.
Yes, another episode of Why Won't a Millionaire Wife Me Up When I Bring Nothing to the Table? Today's contestant, a Miami woman who's angry furious that no rich man wants to marry her. But before we dive in, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap that bell because apparently rich men have standards now, and so do we.
I'm just gonna say it outright. Dating in Miami is not for the weak. Dating in Miami is not for the lover girls, and dating in Miami is not for the women who want anything serious out of life. I'm a firm believer in like what you seek out, you shall find, and also like what you speak and what you say, especially if it's negative, will come to fruition. However, I just need to rant right now, guys. Believe me when I say the only thing that I want out of life is to love and to be loved. I want a family, I want a home, I want children. I want a husband who's my best friend and we have a beautiful life together and make decisions together and just build something incredible with. I want to be taken care of. I want a marriage that my parents didn't have. My parents got divorced and all I want is to just be loved and have a beautiful marriage. Like, I still believe in marriage and I still believe in love despite what I was raised with.
Dating in Miami is fucking hell. I don't know how any of the women here are doing it, but I'm humbled. I remember seeing content creators like getting so crazy over hate comments and me being like, they need to chill. Like, what's going on? They need to chill out. And now I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, some of these comments are so triggering. I'm 36 and I'm dating in Miami, and let me just tell you, this is crazy out here. So I was on my 5th date with this guy. 5th date with this guy. And he was finally inviting me on his boat. Okay, so this comment is talking about whenever I was on a boat and how another girl was flirting with my date. And like, I am just too much of a girl's girl to do that to another woman. Like,
So she's on camera, lashes on fleek, sipping overpriced coffee on a rented yacht, explaining how she only dates men who make 6 figures. But wait for it. Not because she brings value, peace, or even personality, but because she deserves it. What? Because she exists. Because she's that girl. Because the vibes. Ma'am. No amount of contouring is going to hide the fact that your entire pitch is, look at me and spend on me.
apparently in Miami, which I've noticed, there's a beautiful woman on every single corner, and the men like just don't appreciate a beautiful woman there as much as they do in other places. So you guys suggested that I come to Palm Beach, so I'm here with a bunch of my girlfriends and we're kind of adventuring around to see if we like it. And so far I just wanted to report back that it's definitely a different atmosphere. Like, the men are 50 plus.
My man doesn't like it. I'm not doing it. I just saw this girl post about this and it was so true. I used to be in situationships and relationships where I would never listen to them because I'm like, a man doesn't control me, and they would never listen to me because they're like, a woman doesn't control me. What we were missing for one another was respect. It's respectful to care about your partner's feelings and to put it above anyone else. The reason I'm saying put your partner's feelings and thoughts above anyone else is because when you're dating, you're more than likely trying to find the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. Now, if you're going to spend the rest of your life with, they're going to be by your deathbed at 95 years old. Who should come before that? Probably no one, right? That's your ride or die. That's your best friend. You should want to make them feel so comfortable. This goes without saying. It should definitely be reciprocated and it should be a healthy relationship. You shouldn't just give things up for anyone. But assuming you're in a healthy relationship and assuming he treats you the same way, the more you guys put each other's priorities at number one, the higher success rate you will have.
Here's where it gets wild. She says, and I quote, "If he's not paying for my hair, nails, rent, car, and vacations, what's the point? The point, sweetheart, is that you want a rich husband. But you're acting like a luxury pet. You want a man who built his empire brick by brick. To share it with someone who thinks building means stacking Starbucks cups in her car."
And came with like a side effect warning, like may cause anxiety, depression, loss of self-worth, chronic tears, panic attacks. That shit should be on the fucking label.
Can someone explain to me how a man can work all day to keep a woman home nice and comfortable and he'll come home to no punani, no home cooked meal, in a dirty house? I mean, isn't the whole point of staying home to help make the person who's working all day's life easier?
I'm officially taken off of the dating market by myself. Some years ago, my therapist told me something that wasn't very kind, and yet changed the course of my life.
I don't agree that women should be successful on their own. You just think that they need to depend on a man and get married young.
That's a false choice that you're creating. You're saying, like, either I have to be completely dependent on my man and never do anything with my life, or I have to be successful on my own first and then find somebody. It's biological reality that you have a limited fertility window in your life where it's best for you to have children between the ages of about 20 to 35. So if you spend all of your 20s going to college and building a career and you don't even think about settling down until you're 30, which I think you had said that. You said, I'm going to wait until all my eggs are pretty much gone and then I'll think about getting a husband at the end of my fertile years. It's not that you can't get pregnant like in your later 30s or even your early 40s, but it gets harder and harder. You have higher risk of complications. And if there's one when you're 35, you might have one more. And that's the main reason that we only have 1.6 births per woman in this country and in most developed countries around the whole world now, because women are waiting. So
I'm sick of it. If there are no fine shites in the building when I walk into that gym, I'm leaving. I can't be bored one more fucking workout, bitch. There has to be a fine shotty in there. Seriously, if you guys see me walk in, walk out, it's because there were no fine shites.
Okay, ladies, I'm going to say this with all of the love in my heart. Men are not intimidated by how much money you make. Men are not intimidated by your portfolio. Men are not intimidated by how many degrees you carry. That has nothing to do with it. They don't like the attitude that comes with it. That's the problem. So by now, I'm sure everybody has seen the video of the woman who is spouting all of her accomplishments, which amazing. Okay. Absolutely. I absolutely would take nothing away from this woman because those kinds of accolades are very hard to accomplish. So, I mean, kudos to her. Absolutely phenomenal job, and a beautiful girl, by the way. The problem comes in where you've got the attitude of I'm better than you, or you've got the attitude of, you know, I do all of this. I did all of this.
Let's make one thing clear. Rich men aren't stupid. They can smell a walking red flag from a private jet away. These men aren't grinding for years just to end up with someone who thinks making effort means posting thirst traps and mang rappers. They want peace, loyalty, intelligence, femininity. Not someone whose idea of romance is reposting soft girl era TikToks while giving bare minimum energy.
I got played by a TikTok influencer for 9 months.
Thank you, come again.
I hate my implants. I hate my implants so.
You know what's so funny? Everyone wants a good man until the good man actually comes along, and then he has boundaries, self-respect for himself, and certain things that he expects from the woman and wants her to do, and certain things he doesn't want her to do. And all of a sudden he goes from being a good man to a narcissistic piece of you-know-what.
Okay, do you guys pay attention to horoscopes and dating?
Nope.
So I've had a thing for this person for a while now, and clearly it's not going anywhere. And while that does bum me out, I know deep down that I would have been the best thing that has ever happened to them.
I did some digging, and the stats are insane.
Women prefer somebody who's slightly older when they are young and somebody who's slightly younger when they are old. But broadly speaking, the age of the men that women find most attractive changes as they themselves age. That's not the case when it comes to the same graph for how men look at women. Strange. See if you can spot the difference. Basically, this is women and men. Yeah. And that's men and women just straight down.
Of course, that's why we feel like, oh, we can't age because we have this fear.
It's not just like the 30-year-old man that's like, you know, wanting to date but not ready to be a dad. It's like all ages of men want younger. Doesn't matter how old they are.
And they want significantly,
yeah, significantly
younger.
The
age that they want doesn't change. They want a 25-year-old woman. Like, that is insane.
Imagine if a man went viral for saying, I only date women who make 6 figures, take me on vacations, and buy me Jordans. We'd clown him. Rightfully so. But when women say it, suddenly it's standards. No sis, that's not standards. That's delusion with a side of entitlement.
So it's been 3 years of no contact with a man that took me a good full 3 years to heal from since ending things.
So another alpha widow, okay?
Thought that we were dead to each other, you know, thought I was never going to hear from him again in my life. Well, received a message from him yesterday. So take this as your sign to not even trip, babe. They really do always come back. It might not be.
Why are men so afraid to approach women these days?
Me too.
Well, I think like there's obviously the fear of rejection in there too. It's not just me too, right?
Oh, certainly.
Men, there are a lot of
100%.
insecure men out there that really don't want to face the possibility of rejection, so they will never put themselves out there. But then again, on the other side, women need to learn how to reject men without being rude to them and having some grace about it. Like that's kind of a lost art, is rejecting someone in a generous way.
Yeah, I 100% agree. A lot of men will have the experience of going up to a girl and it's like, it can be pretty brutal, the ways in which men get rejected. Certainly in like a party type environment, if there's alcohol involved, even a guy who like in a very polite way goes up to a girl, like when alcohol's involved, people can be very obnoxious and brutal. And
here's the harsh truth no one wants to say out loud. You can't demand a king while acting like the court jester. You can't attract a high-value man when your values are trapped in a 2016 Instagram caption. And if your only contribution to a relationship is being cute, I've got bad news for you. That's not rare anymore. That's everywhere. Want to marry a rich man? Cool. But maybe try offering more than just a wish list and a Wi-Fi connection.
I just saw a video of a girl getting flowers for her first date, and I'm going in my mind, oh, that's so sweet, that's so thoughtful. And then I open the comments, and it's one after another people going, that's crazy, that's too much, what do you mean?
He gave me everything I wanted. He had all the money. He was a very gentleman. He worked very hard. I worked very hard. My kids are grown. It wasn't like he was raising my kids.
so what's the issue?
The connection was not there.
How much was he bringing in per year?
A year?
Yeah.
It was $2 million a year.
Okay. So he was making like probably $150K a month? Probably?
A little bit more. He don't drink, he don't smoke, he worked really hard. It was no problem about, oh, my phone, his phone, cheating. It was none of that. It was just the connection was not there.
Men can't get a fucking word out. They're just constantly cut off by the women in my life. And so one thing I learned is when I'm speaking to a man, when you're talking to a guy on a date and he finishes saying something, I silently count to 20 in my head.
20.
I count to 20.
What happens in those 20 seconds?
Men always have more to say, and women always want to fill that space. And I've said this to friends, and they're like, well, then when do you know when they're done? And I've told them, men will tell you when they're done. They'll literally be like, yeah, that's it. And then you know it's your turn. It has transformed my life because there was so much I wasn't learning from men in my life because was like, like, that's how we are.
So to the Miami woman wondering why no rich man wants to marry her, maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you. And maybe just maybe the real luxury isn't a Birkin bag. It's self-awareness. Like, comment, share this with someone living in Delulu land, and I'll see you in the next roast. Peace.
And that wraps up today's episode of Manosphere Daily. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified as soon as a new video is out. Share your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.